Hello everyone and welcome to this top 10, my top 10 games of 2013 now. I've been trying to do this several flipping times though, but I screw up or I go flipping too long now or whatnot now. But so I was going to do honorable mentions but I'm actually probably just going to put in an annotation where I have a list of sort of my honorable mentions anyway, because if I do that though, it'll go on too long. I have to split into two parts. I don't really want to do that though. Like I did it in previous years, but I did it in this year. But there's a bunch of games like I do remember. Like I really enjoyed games like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which was great. A lot of people love The Last of Us. It's not in my top 10 list though, but I very much enjoyed it though. You know, God of War Ascension. Soul Sacrifice, Wonderful 101, just a few other games, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I know a lot of people really like it though. But yeah, I just wanted to try to make this quite as short as possible though, because I don't really want to go on for like 30 odd minutes, or probably will end up doing so. So I'm going to try to make these, my reason sort of why I like this game, why it's in the top 10, so sort of as brief as possible, I guess. So sort of make this maybe like 20-minute top video, but then again, you might not. So anyway, let's get going here with my top 10 games. But anyway, the first game is a game that came out, and pretty much the first big release of 2013 came out. It's basically got a lot of controversy by sort of fans of the series, like die-hard fans of the series, for being completely sort of different in a way, for being really easy and sort of just fucking simplified and not there, and it wasn't like the old school sort of games of the series. And that is of course DMC Devil May Cry. Now I played all of the Devil May Cry games and I only ever finished the first one. I absolutely loved the first one back when it came out in 2001 on the PS2. I think I've played it on the 2002 because that's when I got my PS2 in Christmas of that year now. But this one here is it is different though. It is a reboot because it's done by Ninja Theory, who did Heavenly Sword and Enslaved. And I did a rant of this about in the Gaming podcast like early last year about the whole controversy and the backlash though, and even though I was a bit pissed off with some of the people, like the sort of backlash I was getting though, I can understand why some people are not fussing in the game though, because it is a bit simplified. I guess it is pretty easy, because I went through this game on a normal difficulty and didn't die once though, whereas in previous Devil May Cry games I died multiple times. Like I played all of them though. I've only ever finished the first one, but I've played 2, it's just mediocre. 3 is a great game, but it's pretty hard. I want to try to go back and play through it though. And Devil May Cry 4, I think kind of got bored with as well. But this one is just really, it's just really enjoyable to play through. I really love the whole limbo world. It just looks really cool just when it goes from like the real world into limbo, and all this sort of architecture and that sort of switches around, and you have to sort of traverse platforms. It's just very creative, some of the locations in this game, the way what happens when it changes into the limbo world is pretty cool. It's really out there, I guess, in a way, and it's sort of colourful as well. A lot of really nice colours around as well. And the combat now, it is more accessible, I guess, than the previous ones. I actually prefer it this way. I just really enjoy, switching between the different weapons, and our comboing enemies, and using the angelic and demon weapons and that there is pretty cool, or devil weapons, and just having a blast playing through the game though. Some of the boss fights are really enjoyable. Like the soundtrack is like it fits the mood. It's not necessarily something I would listen to outside the game now, but it definitely fit the mood of the game though. And I like this. The story was interesting enough. It wasn't really memorable now, but it did its job fine though anyway. But it's just all about the gameplay, and that's why I really enjoyed playing this game at the end of the day. It's just fantastic joyride, in my honest opinion. The next game is a game that a lot of people will be like, okay, what the hell? Why this is in your top 10 though. But I enjoyed the game though. It's a game it's basically a mixed bag with people. Some people love it, some people hate it though. I personally really enjoyed it though. But it's not for everyone, of course. I'm not going to say, oh, you're wrong if you hate this game, but it's definitely a game that's not for everyone. That is Beyond Two Souls at number 9. I enjoyed Heavy Rain and the last Quantic Dream game that came out in 2010 though, and I like this one more. I like the story. I think I like the story in this one more because I just like the fact it's focused and just the soul story rather than like 4 different character stories in Heavy Rain now. And I just like the fact there's games like these being made. Like some people think these are not really games; they're more like interactive movies, and you could say that in a way, but you're still sort of doing inputs and there's some gameplay there, but not a whole lot of it though. It just revolves around walking certain places and pressing sort of buttons to activate things or doing quick time events though. So it's not say it's not full gameplay to say like DMC is now or other like first person shooters and that like. But I enjoy the fact there's games like these being made because they're different from the norm. And I enjoyed my experience with the game. I think Ellen Page does a great job as Jodie Holmes. I think Willem Dafoe does a pretty good job as Nathan Dawkins, and like the other characters as well in the game. Some of the characters you come across are good. Some of them are more forgettable than others now, of course. But I just enjoyed my experience. I think the presentation looks really good. Like I really do like the animations are pretty great though. I think it's a sort of a unique game. Like you play as Jodie Holmes and you have this sort of spirit entity with you as Aiden, and I went like, and you don't really know reason why this is though. You just feel like Jodie's special for some reason because of this. She has this spirit with her entity, and they basically are twined, connected, and you do find out why that is so though at the end of the game, which is a pretty good twist. But the journey you go through with Jodie and that there and the other characters, it's very interesting in my honest opinion though, and I love the fact it goes from back to forth. It doesn't go like in a chronological order now either though. So you do. But if you played Heavy Rain and didn't like it really that much, then this probably won't change your mind because it's pretty much Heavy Rain, just but with a different story. That's pretty much the gist of it. But I still enjoyed this game though, and there's several endings though, depending on what choices you made though, and you can do certain things throughout the game that affect some different parts of the game as well. But I never looked at any of the other ends because I just enjoyed the experience I had with the game and just want to keep that experience stuck with my head though. After playing through it, but I really enjoyed this game at the end of the day. The next game is a game that came out in the PC and PS3 as well, and it's probably my biggest surprise of 2013 because I really enjoyed this game, and I'm actually surprised I enjoyed this game as much as I thought I would though, because this time last year I was little to no interest really in playing this game, but then I actually tried the beta, and the beta sold me in the game. I got it in August when it came out and played for pretty much nearly every day for 2 months straight, and that game is Final Fantasy 14 Online, or I'll Be Born, basically, or version 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online version 2 pretty much, because this game came out in 2010 and it was considered a mess. Pretty much I think the team that worked on it pretty much got fired and a new team worked on it, and it pretty much did a fantastic job because this is the first MMO pretty much since the original WoW I've gotten into, and I've actually gotten into more than this than the actual original WoW because I got this when it came out, and I pretty much got to the end game. Like I leveled up, maximum level, my character up to level 50, did the sort of end game, like the main story thread, completed it though, and done all the quests and that there. I haven't done all the end game content. I like resubscribed there recently and played a bit of it again, but I don't know, just something about this game clicked with me. It doesn't really do anything new in terms of MMOs though, but I just really like the fact, I just enjoyed the world. I enjoyed the music. There's not a whole lot of music in it though, but I really do like the soundtrack in this game. And the one thing I like about this game is, and I hope other MMOs tend to do it now in the future though, is controller support. because they had a controller support with this game though from the get go. Run, you have to sort of, input keyboard key bindings onto a controller like you do with other MMOs. This pretty much had it. You connect a controller. You say you want to select a gamepad, right? It corresponds to what you do, and then you switch with the triggers and that there. You hold triggers down, activate something with a face button, and there you go. It's very intuitive and it's very simple to do, and that's the reason why I really like this, because I played the entire game with a controller. I chat with like keyboard of course, but I played the entire game with a controller and it works. That's one of the reasons why I really like this game. And I just enjoyed it though, and also you can play this game solo. You can play this entire game solo, apart from dungeons and certain, apart from certain quests where you enter a dungeon, you have to team up with other people. But other than that, this is a game you could easily do solo and have a blast with it. And that's what I did. I actually really enjoyed this game. It's my most played game of 2013 for sure as well. I put hours upon hours in this game and really liked it. Number 7 is a downloadable game. Well, actually I had it for the 360, but I traded in a few months ago because already I got the PC version of it though with my graphics card, free with my graphics card, and that game is Bioshock Infinite. Now I was one of those people who thought the first Bioshock was overrated. I was very much looking forward to that game, but I just found that game to be pretty overrated though. I think the gameplay is pretty mediocre in Bioshock. The one thing I really do love about Bioshock though is the world, Rapture. I loved Rapture. I think it's a fantastic world. Loved exploring it. Loved searching the different, audio logs and that. I just loved the whole exploration of that world, knowing the various locations you explore through. And I was looking forward to that in a whole new world Ravashna did with Columbia. And while I got that to an extent though with Columbia, I still think I probably prefer Rapture as a world though, but I think I prefer Bioshock Infinite as a whole, overall as an overall game, because I enjoyed the story in this one more, I enjoyed the gameplay in it more. A lot of people not really fussing the combat in Bioshock Infinite. I had no problems with it whatsoever. Some people felt it got a bit too combat heavy later on in the game. I can agree with that, it does. It doesn't really give you a chance to explore the world per se, because usually done a battle and then 5 minutes later you just walk a few steps and all of a sudden you're in another gun battle as well, which is, it kind of sucks though. But the first sort of part of the game though, when you explore the different sort of buildings and locations and Columbia, is just superb. And that's one of the things I love about these games. So just the sense of exploration, just looking at these, just unraveling the mystery and the lore of this place and why is it so, and you have to do that in order to get the whole understanding of the story that they're talking about though. With Booker DeWitt and Elizabeth and Comstock and the test twins and that there, and you won't get that unfortunately. It might be that might be a disadvantage, might be a weakness to some people though, but you have to do that in order to get the whole mystery and the reason why this whole thing is in existence and that there. And the ending is one of the more memorable endings of last year though, and people would be a lot of people talked about it, had their own theories of what the ending meant and all that there. So that's a sign of an interesting game though when it comes out, and it seemed to be a game that a lot of people sort of liked when it came out though, and then just sort of everyone started to turn on it, I guess, for certain reasons, after a few months so. I think probably around the time Last of Us came out, I guess, everyone seemed to go on its bandwagon, I guess, in a way, and it started to turn on Bioshock Infinite though. But I still really enjoyed Bioshock Infinite anyway. I still enjoyed it enough to have it in my top 10 anyway. Still a very enjoyable first-person shooter. Number 6 is one of the 2 Wii U games I have on my list though, and it's the first. Well, both of them are platformers, so you can say what the other one is later on. But this one is, of course, Rayman Legends. I loved Origins. It was in my top 10 back in 2011. I think I like this probably one more, I guess. So in certain ways, hence it's probably because it's higher up. Because the fact is, I pretty much finished this game. Well, the main thread of it anyway, though, I've done pretty much all the legend levels. There's origin levels you can unlock though, but I've done a few of them, but I haven't done them all. But I pretty much know what those levels are like anyway though. But in terms of the whole legends content, I pretty much did all of them, and really enjoyed the game though. It's just a really outstanding sort of classic 2D sort of side-scrolling platform, and I love the animation, love the visuals. It's just beautiful to like. Screenshots don't do it justice, so you just have to play this game and watch in full motion, and you just realize how just beautifully detailed like the worlds are, and just sort of little wee things you do in the world, where you jump on a platform, cut a big mace ball with Murphy when you have to traverse through a level and that there. It's just fantastic though. And the musical levels at the end of each world are just so great though. They don't go. They're not as good as the treasure chase levels in Origins. I absolutely love them in Origins though, but they're a great sort of example, and they're great replacement in this game though. Anyway, though it's still a fantastic 2D side-scrolling platformer though, and that's why I love it. I got the Wii U version. It sucked though that this didn't come out when it should have though, but it was worth the wait anyway though. And I got the Wii U version because it was the one that was made. It was made for the Wii U exclusively before it went multi-platform anyway. I liked the whole touchscreen aspect as well. It just made you feel more immersed into the game because of that. The next two games are also downloadable digital games. One of them is all multi-platform anyway though, but I got it on the PC, and that is number 5 is Tomb Raider. Now, I've had a history of I wouldn't say I have a history, but I've played some of the Tomb Raider games in the past, so I haven't played them all though. I played the first one. I finished it on the Sega Saturn back in the day though. That was years and years ago now, pretty much. And I've played on and off some of them though, and this one's pretty much a reboot, like Devil May Cry though, and definitely you can say that way though as well. It's pretty much the female version of Uncharted now. Although you could say Uncharted, same people say like Uncharted sort of is a Tomb Raider's kind of an influence of Uncharted. It is in a way though, but the gameplay is completely it's quite different though. But this time out with the whole Tomb Raider reboot, they pretty much took the gameplay from Uncharted flat out though, and I enjoyed it overall. Some of the parts are not as great though, like the whole story survival aspects not always there though. Like Lars gets stranded, they get stuck on this island though, and you have to find out what the whole mystery behind this island is, and you're trying to survive. And she's trying to get away from really crazy people per se. Like she kills someone, all of a sudden, oh my god, she's so shocked, and then 30 minutes later she's got a bow and arrow and a gun and just shooting down field, so with no sort of remorse at all. So it's pretty inconsistent there, I guess, that whole thing. And it does teach you sort of, you can hunt for food or whatever, you can hunt deer or something, but it's not really necessarily, apart from the tutorial, it's just, you don't really need to do it anyway. So it probably would have been nice, so maybe perhaps to have that sort of survival aspect add into it more, but then again, that might have gotten a bit too annoying for people though as well, so it probably not have reviewed as well, I guess though, for some people if it stayed that way though. But I still think I really enjoyed it. Just love some of the set pieces, some of the action you go through, and I just wish they did more tombs and had them more fleshed out, because the tombs were some of the best parts in the game, but all they consist of was a room with a little wee puzzle, and that was it, and then you get the treasure there. But the whole exploration and finding the different relics and that there, and etc. sort of helps. It just sort of helps extend the lifespan of the game. Just want to find out the whole the mystery about this island and this sort of dynasty that you're sort of researching, because this is like an origin story of Lara Croft, and I love this game though, and I think it's the best sort of game sort of in its genre. Like Uncharted 3, I thought it was pretty good though, but one part just pissed me off to no end in that. But this one I think is better than Uncharted 3, and I really do hope that Crystal Dynamics get to do another one, because is great. They're doing a definitive edition. Her face looks different, and very few differences I think other than that, I guess. Number 4 is, again, it got pretty much critical acclaim as well when it came out. And a lot of people, this is a game that's got a lot of people just, ragging on. It's like, oh, this is not really a game. It's not a game. You don't do game things yourself. There's no gameplay in it whatsoever. And you could say it is. It's not really. It is sort of a game, but less a game than most proper games now. But it's more of a sort of narrative experience, narrative focused game, and that is of course Gone Home by the Fullbread Company. Now, this game came out, and a lot of people raved about it though. Just like, go get this game. It's a very unique experience though, and the main reason why I didn't get it straight away is because I just found, like, no offense, but I just found the price tag to be pretty too high for a game like this now. Now, I'm not going to say it's because of the length of it now, because I paid, what was it, £10 or £10 or so for Journey last year in 2012, and that was only like 2 hours or so, and that ended up being my second favourite game of the year. It wasn't just that, it was just, I just felt that this game should have been £10 at most, and I would have paid for it no problem, and it did though when it was a half price later on, and I felt I got my money's worth. And if I knew what the game was like beforehand, I probably would have might have paid for the £15 though, but I didn't though. But what I got was a very interesting story, a very unique experience though, and you play as this one great Katie Greenbrier. You come home after a year-long venture in Europe, and you find a note on the door from your sister Sam saying she's gone or so, and your parents are gone, and you don't know why that is. Like, what the hell is this? Why is no one home to welcome me home? And then you go around with getting these, researching, looking at these items and triggering journal entries from Sam, and pretty much showing and say, muddling up there, sorry. Pretty much you trigger journal entries from Sam that sort of spans sort of the year that your Kitty's away now, and she's sort of the narrator of the game. The journal entries are narrated by Sam, and you sort of explore her journey, what she's been doing throughout the year though, and through like different documents and things like that you look for in terms of like your father and mother and that there. You sort of figure out what they've been doing throughout the year, and see like your father's a struggling writer. He's writing like sort of reviews and articles for this like magazine, and your mother's like this ranger or whatever. And but another thing I love about this game is it's such a nostalgic kick though, because it's just so 90s, because it's set in 1995, and you see like old VHS tapes with like episodes of X-Files recorded, and TV listings, and Super Nintendo and the controller, and like these fake game cartridges, and move this for Street Fighter 2. And that, like, I grew up in the 1990s, like I think Katie's like 19, 20 or something along those lines. She's around that age though, I believe, and so it's not a like thing though. But I grew up in the 90s, like I was born in 85, so my time for growing up was in the 90s. So anyway, so I got a lot of that nostalgic anyway from that, because that's what I did. I recorded TV shows and films on VHS tape and played Super Nintendo and Mega Drive and that there. So I absolutely love this game for that as well, and it's a very interesting story. A lot of people don't really think of too much of the game. Think it's a game that's not for everyone. It just clicks with some people and it doesn't click with others. So it clicked with me, and that's why it's one of my favourite games of 2013. Into the top 3 now. Number 3 is the other Wii U game, and it is pretty much the game to get on the Wii U, in my honest opinion, and that is, of course, Super Mario 3D World. Glare there, so it is. I pretty much liked all the 3D Mario games, from Super Mario 64 to Sunshine to Galaxy to 3D Land to 3D World. I've liked all of them. There's not one of them I can say I actually dislike. I can't say the same for the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I enjoyed the first one, and I enjoyed the Wii one to an extent though, but I played the Wii U one though, and I can't see myself playing through that game. I find it to be dull and tedious now though, because they're pretty much the same game. like it's pretty much been the same since '06, and it's the same game. It's just sprinkled up and has new levels, but other than that, it's the same game. Whereas each of the 3D incarnations of Mario, that had different elements. You know, Mario came. It was the first 3D Mario game, and like, oh my goodness! And then Sunshine came and had the whole use flood water, and flood and the water aspect. Then Galaxy came and had the whole gravity and planets aspect, and then 3D Land came and it's like this whole sort of small pseudo 2D 3D and that there as well, and this sort of just ramps it up a little with this sort of follow up, you can say, to that game. And it's just fantastic. The level design is just outstanding though. Just playing through the levels just with a smile on your face. The music is just so delightful to listen to. The graphics are superb, just so colourful and vibrant. You just can't look away from the screen because everything's just so delightful to look at though in the game. And I had a blast. I did everything in the game. I got all the stamps, bar the other character stamps, but I played the game with Peach. I got all the character stamps, got all the stars, did the world crown, did all the crown levels, so I pretty much 100% this game, and I don't really do that with a whole lot of games, so I'm not really a completionist though, but when a game I really do enjoy playing though, I don't want to stop playing, I do so, and this is one of them though. I did it with both Galaxy games, so I didn't do a 3D Land, and because the way you had to do that game was you pretty much had to go through the entire game twice, with both Mario and Luigi to get the final level and get the golden flag coast and all the stars, and like I couldn't really see that though, but at least you just had to do it with one character, get all the stuff in this game rather than have to do it with every single character, because if that was the case I would not have done that. I certainly wouldn't have done it though, because I know this is multiplayer, but I know when to play with, so I'd have to do it several times in order to get them though. But still, it's just a fantastic knowledge series in the 3D Mario game series, the Mario series, so I'm absolutely love it though. It's not as good as the Galaxy games for me. I still think the Galaxy games are the pinnacle of the 3D platform, 3D Mario games. And people will disagree. Some people think still the best one is Mario 64. The thing is, I cannot go back to Mario 64 now after playing Galaxy. I can't. Like, to me, I'll just playing that game now. I'll just be like, to me, that game would just be so boring for me now after playing Galaxy, and also this as well. So I can't really go back to that game, unfortunately, but still a good game. Still a great game, to your word. Number 2 would have been my game of the year if it hadn't been for a game that was announced at the around April, and I'll get to that in just a few minutes. This is a game that came out at the start of the year, pretty much came out at the end of January, start of February. It's on the PS3, it's a JRPG, and I absolutely loved it, and it is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. I love RPGs, I love JRPGs, so I wouldn't say I'm absolute fanatic with them now, because I don't go out of my way to get every single one and finish every single one. I get a bunch of JRPGs, and some of them click with me, some of them I just want to finish and I want to try for a bit and just don't, not really into it though. This is one of those games that sort of I just started playing, clicked with me, and I just want to see it to its conclusion. And absolutely loved my nearly 50 hours playing through this game though. It's a beautiful collaboration between Level 5 and Studio Ghibli, and the animations and the graphics in this game, the presentation overall is just stupendous. Again, another game like Mario World it's hard to look away though. Just you can't take your eyes off it though, and absolutely love playing this game. The story in it is kind of your typical sort of JRPG fare. You're this sort of chosen one to save this fairy world because you're in this real world, in like the world, you're in Motorville's like the town you live in. You play as Oliver, and you Mr. Drip and Oliver, and you sort of keep with your car. You build this little wee car with your friend, and then the accident sort of happens, and your mother sort of tries to help you, and unfortunately she dies. It's a spoiler, but it happens in the first 30 minutes of the game or so. And then you start crying with this little doll, and all of a sudden Mr. Drippy, one of the best characters of 2013, is born, and Mr. Drippy, Lord High King of the Fairies. And what you get is just a really great partnership between them, though. Like, Mr. Drippy is fantastic, though. His Welsh accent just brings him to life that much more, though. And it's very rare you hear Welsh accent in the game as well. I necessarily never heard Welsh accents before in a game, from what I can remember, though. So it's pretty much the first. You can hear like English and Scottish and Irish accents in other games, but I never a Welsh one in mine, from what I can remember. So, but that is just great, and you're taken to this, world, the fairy world, and you're there to sort of help save the world from Shadar, and so this villain called Shadar, and also see it might be a way to sort of help rescue your mother, like resurrect your mother, and it's a beautiful journey to go through with Oliver and the other characters you come across. I forget their names, unfortunately, though. But the gameplay is enjoyable as well. Like, it's this sort of whole gotta catch them all motif with the familiars, with like Pokemon, and they help you collect them. You fight with familiars to collect other familiars, and you sort of help level up and evolve them, and help you fight enemies, and beat the bosses and that there. And also, the music in this game is absolutely lovely. Just really love the soundtrack in this game, though. The world theme especially, I never got sick of listening to. It's just really so kind of bombastic and epic. It's like, oh, I'm on this journey here. I'm on this journey. I want to persevere. I want to get to this goal. It's kind of like that sort of, kind of great, that feeling of you're on this really important journey and just want to get to the end, though. And that's, the music just sort of adds that much more emphasis to the story into the game as well because of that, though. And there's like these side quests as well, which are pretty much consist of the same, where people's things are hard, like their hearts are broken, though, and have lost an emotion. Say like someone has lost their enthusiasm for something, and then you have to get that emotion from someone else who has tons of enthusiasm and help them out, though. And like it's like enthusiasm or like love and things like that as well. And that sort of ties in with the main story as well, though. But it's like most of the side quests in the game pretty much share that thing. You have to get a certain emotion from another character. But I enjoyed it, though. There's post game content which I've not done, though, but I want to do, though, and absolutely I loved this game. It would have been my favourite game of the year if it wasn't for the next game. Now, this has gone on for 30 minutes, so apologies for that, though, but I just want to share my sentiments, I guess. So, finally, is a game that came out in November 22nd, 2013. It was announced in April, so it was last year. I found out about it on Twitter because it was done in Nintendo Direct. It was announced in Nintendo Direct. The US one was announced before the European one because we have different sort of things. And the Iwata parts are the same, but the sort of region specific ones are different, of course. So we have Shibuya Iwata for our Europe ones, and like Reggie or somewhat like Reggie usually for the US ones. And it was announced there, seen on Twitter, seen the video of it then like shortly afterwards, and absolutely could not believe it. It instantly became the most anticipated game of the year. Waited 7 months, got the collector's edition, and got the 3DS XL limited edition of it, and absolutely loved the game from start to finish, though. And nothing was going to top it after it, though. I just absolutely loved this game because it is my follow-up to my favourite game of all time, which is The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And it is, of course, 3DS's own The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is my favourite game of 2013. I don't really have anything really bad to say about this game. The only thing I probably can say, actually, contradicting myself there, if I had to say, have a nitpick to say about it, it's on the easy side. It is a pretty easy game, and while I don't mind easy games, though, sometimes, though, although there's certain ones like Kirby games, I think they're fun and all though, but I can't go through them though because I just find them games really easy to the sense I get bored. Um, but there's other games that have more challenge, like Dark Souls and certain games and higher difficulties and that there. But that's the only thing I could say about it. It's pretty easy because I didn't die once in this game. I didn't die once in this game, and I didn't die once in Devil May Cry, which is on the other side of the list. Um, but yeah, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Like I couldn't believe they're actually going this way. Some people were skeptical when it's coming out now, and I could see why. Because like, they're just sort of hanging on they're just relying on old franchise, they're relying on this here. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. But like I had faith in them though. I just really hoped this was gonna be great though because after the disappointment I had with Skyward Sword, I just wanted the new Zelda game to come out and be great, and it did. I absolutely loved it, and this is my favorite Zelda game, like the best Zelda game I played since the Twilight Princess back in 2006. So, and it's the first one I've actually finished since Twilight Princess back in 2006 as well, because I just enjoyed it that much. Because it was just great to explore this world again, the same Hyrule and Link to the Past, done differently. Of course, there's certain things that are mostly the same, but there's certain things that are different. And of course, the Dark World, or Lorule as it's known in this game, and how it's different from what it was in A Link to the Past. I just loved. I actually can't really explain why. I just love this game. I just love the music. The rearranged music is just fantastic, though. The graphics are just so charming. Like some people weren't sure about them though, but once you play this game on the 3DS, especially, it just looks beautiful. Like the animations and like the Link just walking around, just some of the location explores is great. Like the dungeons are in for just definitely nostalgia as well though. Like some of the dungeons are pretty much in the same place, but they're completely different, of course though. And of course the sort of whole 2D painting aspect of it though. You change this 2D sort of drawing, and that sort of brings a whole new element though, where it helps you traverse dungeons and helps you traverse the lands to get certain items and heart pieces and that there, and the whole rental system as well. Like it's pretty much the most interesting most unique Zelda there's been in quite some time though, because it has changed things up a little. Because a lot of people just felt that the series was getting stagnant though. Like Skyward Sword wasn't that much different from Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker though. It pretty much felt the same for the most part. Just go through these dungeons and there. Whereas in this one, pretty much since the original, you can take on any dungeon you want in sort of any order. And I don't think that's been done pretty much since the kind of original though. Although you could probably do it in in other ones as well though. But they did have a path set up. But in this one, you can go any path you want though. But I as a big huge fan of the Link to the Past, so I went with the order that the Link to the Past was. So I did the Eastern Palace first, and then I did the the second actually I did the Eastern Palace, and then I did the Death Mountain one, and then I did the Gales one because it wasn't actually over in the desert like the second dungeon in Link to the Past was. I didn't do because I actually didn't know how to get into that third one first. But I did all like the Dark World ones in the order that they were originally in A Link to the Past. But yeah, I just absolutely love this game though, and just can't get it. I just really did enjoy it though, and I say I'm gonna play this game again on Hero Mode because I heard Hero Mode's more difficult, and maybe I'll probably die there now. But as I said, I did everything in this game, got all the heart pieces, got all the Malamites, upgraded every weapon, did the Treacherous Tower twice, the advanced one, and pretty much did everything in this game that there was to do, and loved every minute of it. So anyway, that's pretty much and that is my number one game of 2013. Yeah, apologies for this being very, very long. I kind of rambled on there in the last few entries, but I just wanted to get my word out though why I like these games. So this is nearly 40 minutes now. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.